Sims and Pansy. Enjoy the game.
Thanks, guys. Outstanding work from the desk.
Great job.
Loved it. Just on the edge of my seat entire time, weren't you?
They said so many interesting things, I can't remember any of them.
All right, we will be seeing this upcoming, which will be interesting. Red Diamonds, I mean, they were the ones who will probably be heartbroken, maybe Sauna Boys as well, because they had such a good position on the circle. Beyond that, Toxic have switched it up, going to kind of the position they were in yesterday. I don't know if I want to say they were consistent in going to this area, but it felt like they were up towards the northwest-ish a lot of the time. But still, Team Rec, they've got to be happy.
Yeah, I mean, they did.
They're going to be so happy.
More happy now. And, you know, we were sitting here talking. We were wondering if the circle would be the same as well.
Yeah.
Not the case. So for Rec, they had a bit of a contest when we saw the last game start. Toxic players had taken note that it looks like Reciprocity is going to jump out immediately, so they have conceded. And hello? Who are we listening to? It's Curate. Do we have game comms? Is this a new feature? Anyway, but for Reciprocity,
I can only imagine they are the best comms in the world as well.
I hope they're being nice to each other and polite.
Oh, yes.
As Trifley actually will steal a car and drive away.
Yeah, I don't know how he's got out of that one scot-free. Lux seems a little bit perplexed by it too, but so fairly, you've got to go real Finnish, almost Italian on it. Makes it out of there. How are your accents? Are they good?
No, not Finnish. I promise you that.
Well, there's Andy. Do you know?
Yeah. Speaking of, and you know what, for Method, this is now going to be an interesting change of pace for them, where they're going to have to maybe rotate a little bit earlier. They do have Picado all to themselves. This is something we've seen throughout the entire first couple of games for this squad, and I would like to see them play a little bit more aggressive in the center of the map. I think that with such a skilled squad, they should be taking the fights a little bit more aggressively and not playing passive and on the edge.
Okay. Well, we'll see if they take that on board. I mean, they've got to have reviewed yesterday's games and kind of, I guess, check their mentality and how they're approaching the matchup, because it honestly was not working out, to say the very least. Beyond that, we do see a couple of scraps coming out. Simsy and Lux still having a bit of a extended fight with another one of the higher-end teams actually currently. So those guys are posturing, but I mean, at this point you might get a knock, but I don't know if you get the confirmed kill. They could be potentially. I mean, that's certainly on the cards. You don't really want that right now. They are pretty locked into these compounds, though. You saw the car got stolen earlier, so Squeaky could join in if he does. Is that a Mini on the back? I'm not sure.
He might have the equipment to go and try and pressure Lux, or at least take a look at him. He's probably disabling a vehicle.
He literally just took down Simsy. I mean, that is a long old shot. I don't know what sight he's got. I can't imagine he's looted too much. I mean, the spawns are slightly amplified here. Really, really sick start if that is the case. Lux is probably baffled. He's got the Uzi Mac 10 out there like, well, can't really do much.
Yeah. Simsy, I'm surprised gets caught like that. The smokes are already down. He must have taken damage already. So for Simsy, this is not, again, for Besiktas, you cannot be making these kind of mistakes this early in the game. We're 4 minutes in on Miramar. And now, not in rotation. I don't know how he got caught in this position. I don't see a down motorcycle. I don't see anything, but he's out of this game.
That's a huge loss. I mean, the desk has said it to no end. We've been saying it. They're one of the teams that have the names, that have the players that...
And experience.
That's another factor. This is not their first event. This is not their first time playing against Tier 1 teams. They are ones that are meant to be set towards top 5, top 3, potentially. I mean, they're meant to be real contenders, and not for the Contender League. They're meant to be far more superior than that, and again, not a great start for them, sadly.
I would say that, you know, in this is definitely a average higher difficulty. I think we've kind of seen that over the last 2 days, that in Group B, this is the higher difficulty is, or sorry, the group difficulty is higher on average in this group than in Group A.
Yep.
But Besiktas, out of everyone in this group, arguably has some of the most experience, aside from maybe some of the other guys on Reciprocity and some of the CIS guys as well. So for Besiktas, you got to clean it up. We didn't see how that started, but that again in Miramar this early in the game, no bueno. That's right. That's the extent of my Spanish, if you're wondering.
Toby is shook right now.
I can only imagine.
I know. Again, you guys at home, let us know who you think's walking away with this one. Always like to hear your thoughts. Always appreciate it. Obviously, it's an echo chamber of mostly Method fans, but beyond that
is Andy still alive?
Where is Andy?
Where is Andy?
We do see Odense in a little bit of a scrap as well. They're starting to work their way forward. 2-2 splits. Again, people being quite greedy with positioning currently. No one's really letting much go. They want to get the space. They want to get the loot. We will be seeing QRH pick up a lovely little addition there.
So he's going to grab that. Fosford going to do some looting, do a little scooting as well. I didn't see a scope in the crate, so finding something to put on that thing is going to be the next order of business. But getting a nice delivered crate with no contest is going to be a nice bonus here in the early game. Starting to see the rotation phase start. Razor Edge as well as Odense. They're going to find their way into the zone. Center point here around Cruz del Val. So for Reciprocity, not a lot of pressure coming their way. And I'm wondering if they're going to just kind of hang out in that Bronca area, maybe do a 2-2 split north and south. When you're this far up in the top end of the map, you're going to want to try and take as much map control as possible. And if you're Reciprocity in second place, looking to grab that first spot, trying to play a little bit of conservative style, maybe just what the doctor ordered here in game number 1.
I think we could see a couple of teams trying to posture towards taking over compounds. They might get warded away. It's that kind of early land grab, trying to go central, and I don't think there's going to be too much. I'm curious where Haxetti's going. I don't know how greedy Team Rec want to get. I don't know how much space they want to be trying to gather here.
Right.
I mean, they have pick of the litter. That's the main part. They do get all that kind of north side to themselves. They know that they have that pretty much locked in. I guess the east, they're not too sure, but Neonox,
2 on that bike.
that could have been disastrous. They have made it away thus far, but they're not out of the woods just yet.
There's more teams there waiting for them, or sorry, more players. They're going to land right on Maverick. So Fast
Are they
Rail's going to be,
crashing this?
oh yes, and they are, and that's going to be 2 quick downs. Maverick was waiting in the wings, and the communication comes out. So for Method, not a good start.
Neonox and Wick both going down. I don't know if the bike got damaged, why they crashed that.
He was right there waiting for him. They crashed right into that wall, jumped over it. Maverick shot him in the window.
Oh, that's got to be devastating for them. It felt a little bit rushed in my eyes. I'm surprised the 2-man bike went in for that.
You gotta have steady hands, and really, if you have one guy across the street, you have to assume that you cannot crash into a random house. That's unfortunate that they picked this one. Yeah, they hit the wall, and Maverick just jumped out and shot them both in the back. Not even a chance for a trade. That sucks.
Yeah, it really does, but amazing for the other side. That's everything you dream of. Maverick's out there just grinning. He's just got a lovely upgrade of everything he wants. If there wasn't enough loot for themselves, they can all just secure the position. Now, Chris and Andy, the last 2 alive for Method, are going to have to try and find somewhere else. Now, Moonwolf are one of the teams who are very early game, very aggressive. Trufelli's going to be in a bit of a spot of bother. Tagged up, damage, going to try and dodge and weave around the hay bales, trying to get to that next position that could be available, as he might have just made it away for now. No one else could be for the next couple of seconds, so he will be able to kind of recover if he needs to. And the rest of his team not far off either, so he's going to be joining them. Oh, Chris, no.
Method is not having a good first rotation phase here. Andy and Chris are trying to make their way into the zone. I think they're going to try and take as center of a position as possible and probably play super snaky because they've already lost 2 very quickly. Chris is going to change vehicles, obviously, but look who's there. It's Haxetti from Reciprocity. He can hear that loud Murado coming, and he's going to come out to meet Andy. This might be more
no,
blows.
Andy's pulling up. Oh, God. Andy's got to go. He's got to go, surely.
Yeah, no backup for Haxetti here as well, though. So for Hax, he's probably thinking, well, maybe not. He's going to stay.
I mean, obviously, Andy and Chris don't know that it was just Haxetti. Now, for Rec, this is excellent. This is, again, a lot of control. Method, again, next place. Where can we go? Where can we find? They have made it away. They have found a relatively nice free compound, but for how long? Eventually, you're going to see the later teams look into these extremities as to being the next option for them.
They're not too far north, so they're nice. They're center, but they're off a little bit to the east. So we'll just have to hope that the circle doesn't shift too far away from them. However, the first shift is probably going to keep them still inside the zone. Red Diamond's taking a page out of the book of Avangard. They're going for a northern swing around the Oasis. Horkan is doing his best to shoot in the general direction of the Sauna boys, but not getting anything for his trouble at this stage. So for Red Diamonds, I'll be interested to see where they come in, because they're going north on a pretty northern-based circle, and if that thing shifts south already, they're going to be facing a lot of pressure coming back south.
The remainders of Moonwolf working their way up. A couple of late teams here. Looking at this one, they're certainly in no rush. Toxic looking for options. You can see the bit of the reaction as the Toxic players were opened up on the Sauna boys, and Flak receiving a whole lot of that. So let's see if you control that bike well enough. It feels as though you should be able to at this level. Why did I speak so soon?
We've already cursed methods, so we might as well do them as well.
Yeah, well, look, Toxic were the first team to die a good couple of times, so it could be that again. We do see a nice bit of range, at least on Tom Hill there. I think I saw the 24 coming out to play, so that'll be fun. I do like, obviously, the increased amount of AR snipers. Your guns are certainly out and about, so we shouldn't see too many teams running with anything less than ideal setups, unless they've really messed up.
Sometimes you just get bad loot luck. We're going to see the first shift here come in, and we're going to center almost up a little bit, right around that razor edge. Odense Esports are looking good as well. And this 2-2 split was what I was talking about earlier, and I do like the way that they've set themselves up, razor edge specifically. So they do have the north-south control. Looks like they are going to collapse back into Cruz del Val and try and opt for map control rather than maintaining that split. So this is looking good for them early on. Odense has been playing very well. They're going to take the high side ridge, probably get a little bit of vision, see what happens on this next rotate. And for reciprocity, they spread out pretty considerably. They're doing a 1-2-1, which is showing Hacks just kind of harassing Method at distance at the edge of the circle.
I like this version of Rec. It's confident in their individual abilities. If you're being this greedy and you're wanting this much map control, you have to be able to step up. I mean, you're looking at Rafi here. He could be potentially taking on a 1v4 if Sauna Boys come his way. The rest of the team's working their way forward out of the blue. That could be a potential fight towards the northern side of the circle, and it will be the Sauna Boys working their way towards it. Rafi's probably spotted this out. I don't think he's going to engage too soon. Again, getting great information, though. If you want to look at a way to paint a map, I know we like talking about the architect, but at the moment, no. No, we don't. But no, for the guys on Rec, they can paint a great picture of what's going on. They can understand, okay, well, Sauna Boys are here. We know that a team's here. They can start working out so many of these positions and trying to work off the back of it. It is incredibly risky. Is the reward worth it? That's what we're going to find out. Iro, on the other hand, now this player, surprise to many, we'll see if that performance can keep up now in towards day 2.
They're trying to get in on the southern side of the zone, accelerate, already mounting their vehicles and trying to not get away necessarily, but maybe get a little bit further into the zone. Iro and the rest of Team Ready arriving a little bit late. And judging by the fact that they've seen this team, they might want to skirt around to the west and get around, similar to where Red Diamonds went. And we're going to see now a little bit of pressure starting to mount in the center of the zone. There's a lot of high side ridges around. And for Moonwolf and M19, that's going to be the first fight of the game. Yeah,
and the damage is coming in pretty nicely for M19. They've got a good spot on this, got the high ground, clearly have enough range to be applying this pressure. It's MPL sitting on the 6. Can't see that smoke, of course. It is a little thicker for the players. It is a spec line. We get to see a little bit more of it. Gets tagged up, warded away, allowing time for the revive to come in on the other side. So that will at least keep M19 humble unless the Wanderer gets a glimpse, and that he does. Also getting tagged up. So again, great answers coming back in from the other side. They're not being too passive and allowing M19 to have complete peaks over this ridgeline.
These early sniper battles, even though they don't lead to knocks or kills rather in some cases, they do set the stage for what happens later in the game. As you start to use those meds, your armor gets damaged, and in this meta, replacing armor is very difficult. A pit maneuver is occurring, and he's been halted. He's trying to be pulled over, but he's not going to allow these guys to get after him too quickly, but that's a lot of pressure coming his way.
That's one tag as well. The car, how it's smoking. Andy is on the run. Get the hell out of Dodge. He is off. They pulled up. They tried to do everything. They got out of the cars. They were ready to fight. Andy's pulled up, going to try and get a heal off. He has to be aware. Odense are being opened up on, though. Mikaz is there with that car 98 coming through true for him. So again, the guys that we said were performing that somehow, I'm pretty sure Martin Wade more out of top 3. Not good enough for them. But they're doing nicely to begin with.
Rough start being in the top 3. So we were talking, and there's Andy, who's
playing solos against squads.
Oh boy.
God. Dude. Andy, what is this plan? Oh, it's worked! Look at this guy, as if this is,
That's the best luck they've had so far. Not so much for for the gentleman in the road.
Oh, Andy. How, you know?
He's like, yeah, that was definitely 100% calculated.
I made that happen.
That's me.
All me, baby.
Actually, kind of looks like him a little bit. And the
Have
fact
you
that he's
seen
drinking,
Andy ever?
he's squatting and drinking is what I meant. Sorry.
Okay.
Not,
Okay. The Slav squat
Yeah.
getting ready. We do see the remainders of the teams trying to work their way actually towards the blue. M19 going to go on the long way around, not just losing their minds. We see another couple of threes being picked up. Always a lovely touch. Again, the level 3 helmet. And I don't know how Andy's alive, but honestly, that was my favorite thing in the world. He's still holding on.
He's like, I'll be out here in the blue if you need me. So we're going to see another shift, and it's going to be headed all the way south. That is a relatively hard shift, and that is going to show Razor Edge again. Actually, they did maintain the split just on north and south of Cruz del Val. They're going to again collapse, and this is looking good for them. They're going to have the high side and a little bit of high ground to work with. But now there's this kind of open compound in the center that is ripe for the taking, and it looks like there's going to be TC scrolling down there, see if they can grab it. No contest coming in. That's going to be a good pickup for them if they can make it there. They stop a little short, actually. I imagine this center compound is assumed to be contested, but they're going to walk right in there. So
I don't know how they've got the timing on that one so right, but it really has worked out.
Now the north side is going to be a mess.
Yeah, it is. It's going to be the crunch point of all of this. Orna boys are putting up the roadblock, and already we're going to see teams being caught in this. Ims goes down. Is there anyone else to follow? Yes, there is. Excellent connection on these rotations. This is 2 big pickups for them. This is lovely upgrades. And they oh, what? This is getting incredibly messy now. So many teams being caught in this rotation. As you said, this is where it gets a little bit scary as Lux gets found. Fast Rail in the perfect position, but Ultra is there as well. I'm not sure if the position is noted. I'm not sure if Fast Rail knows he's there yet. I don't know what information he's gathered, but obviously Ultra knows that Fast Rail is there. Oh, Chris has been caught as well.
So that's only Andy now left for Method, who is still in the blue, by the way, if you're wondering where Andy is. Fast Rail, he's picked himself up a kill. It's Tamil and Ultra there, but they are not in a position to initiate any fights. Speaking of which, Furia, he's got a roadkill to his name, taking down one of his teammates. And this is them getting annihilated in transition. We already saw them lose 1, and Furia is going to be the last one standing as the vehicles are just bouncing around. And you know what? They just, luckily for him, as he rolls to a stop, they started shooting at the other vehicle because he could have very easily died there.
Yeah, he absolutely could have. There's so many ways that could have gone down, and this was the roadblock from a different perspective. While all this happens, there are still 16 teams alive, 55 players, so plenty of people still in this. Andy's still holding on for his dear life way out in the blue, working his way forward. A couple of the other teams going to work their way in.
Oh, my God.
And we are back into the action.
I can't believe he lived. It looked like what happens when you take the end off of your Hot Wheels track and your cars just start chucking everywhere.
I didn't have one.
Whatever. I mean, there's someone out there will get the reference.
Just a whole one. Any of you in chat get it? I don't know. I won't call you out on these things. I say absolute nonsense all the time. Carillion, though, for Othensat does get found. So Shiv there. Getting a little bit back into it, because I think we saw one of the rec players get caught in the meantime. If I'm not mistaken, one of them did go down while we were watching everything happen. So I'm not sure if they are all up. Maybe a revive came in, maybe they're down to 3. I need to kind of catch my eyes back up, because there's a lot of things happening in that last rotation. Yeah, that 19-minute mark in Miramar is where everything starts to happen. We're going to see another shift pretty quickly here. The circle is shrinking. The Sauna boys have been relatively active. Furia is trying to get away. But as the last man standing, this is where you get into a lot of trouble on Miramar, because you never really know where is safe, who can see you, and from what angle. But finding a garage to hang out in would probably be the option here. Jump out in the box and bandage your wounds. Sauna boys in a bit of an extended fight. Don't know if any of these are going to particularly connect. I mean, it's always going to be one of those situations where you don't want to lose your helmet, you don't want to mess up your vest. M19, not the only fight, though, going on right now. XMPL gets confirmed down and done for. He was already knocked early. We saw him bleeding out on his own. So I think teammates cut the losses on that front.
It's been a good start to the round for the Sauna boys. They're on the northern side of the zone, so they're probably going to be running pretty quickly. Razor Edge still relatively in the center. TC did grab that compound dead center, and they're going to find themselves with an advantage. Now, this is going to be the question for a team like Reciprocity. They're going to have to run through Odense, or they're going to have to rotate north, and Red Diamonds have already spotted them, so they're going to have to get forced into the center of the zone. Odense is going to be able to hear those shots, so they're going to have to assume that there's someone nearby, and there goes Furia. The nade landed right on top of them, and that's the first team out. Galatasaray, Not the good round for them. But if you're Reciprocity, this is going to be an literal uphill battle for them.
Yep.
You can see them here with M19, only Wanderer and Elite player left. The zone doing a lot of damage now in this phase. And they're going to sneak in on a buggy, so this might be an easy couple of kills for Red Diamonds, who are going to hear them coming in from behind.
Certainly will. This could be a very explosive couple of transitions now for these teams. I'm not sure how much room's going to be available, especially on that eastern northern side as well.
53
Got Sauna Boys coming in. There's just so many players still up. This terrain needs to be utilized as best it can.
Forza not really making any concerted effort to make it to the new zone. And they do have, unfortunately, and I say this with only respect, probably the weakest team in the lobby ahead of them. So if they want to take a fight, get a knock, and notice who it is, they probably want to take that as best they can. They're going to be having to escape that compound. So if you're Toxic players, you do have the benefit of the zone, but you also have a four-man squad getting ready to run your way.
We certainly do. Down towards the south, we do see Team Ready taking a couple of, I guess, pot shots here. Shiv on the revive towards Scoom. A couple of shots from Moonwolf, but I'm pretty sure that's Moonwolf. I might be wrong. It's a very far away logo. Excuse me. But Scoom is back up. He can get the heal on. And Rek are in, but Udensa are not far off from this, so they're going to hear all of this happening. This was Ultra, who was able to stay alive. I'm pretty sure Fast Rail was next to him earlier, so he's heard all these steps, but again, being one of the solo remainders or a very isolated remainder of your team, you do not want to be taking these fights.
Toxic just let them roll up in vehicles. I mean, they would have had to have, I don't know if they have line of sight or who can see what, but they would have heard those cars coming, but now they've closed the gap. So for Forza,
Zoltas could be in trouble, though, because there's a third party potential here.
Yeah, that's true. So for Forza, and here comes Q-Rage as well, just showing up to the south. So this, all the edge of the zone, there's so much open, flat space in the center. That's where most of the action's going to be.
Forza, they've got a lot of attention. It went from kind of 0 to 100 for them. Jawhawk trying to find an angle to try and get a heal off, but apparently the Red Diamonds can see all this. They are so far away as well. They are in the very top left of your screen, so they're seeing that. That wasn't the third party I expected. The MK4 team's joining in, though. So a lot of these players, this is how far the shot was. This is a very, very ambitious shot coming out. Forza are looking just being picked apart. Another team's joined in as well. There's 3 different teams now picking them apart. Now, let's see if Kofus does go for a little bit of a peek over the ridge. He could potentially find it. A nice nade could do it for him, but Krillian is there finding washout. So this is a lot of the work coming in. And the Red Diamonds, that M24 with the 4 times, perfectly placed towards where the Sauna Boys are. Going to back away from this a little bit. Doesn't want to get crunched on. That might be a good idea here because we see M19 in the meantime coming in pretty close by.
It's almost like clockwork at that minute 22, minute 23. Things just have to pop off. We're in the shrink now. The circle is about to shift once again, and there is just no space. This is such an open valley.
Look at the north side.
Oh, that nade just bounced just right over Elite Player, but the Mini will find him afterwards. This is a death circle in the most succinct sense because there's just nowhere to hide right now.
No, Wanderer's desperate to try and help out, but I don't know how much more he can do. It looks like the Red Diamonds certainly have his numbers. Zoltas did get caught in the meantime by Kofus. We saw that fight happening in the meantime. That's towards, I'm pretty sure, the outskirts. So that's on the western side. Answers here and there. Third parties come in. We'll look for when teams really get fully engaged on. And indeed, the Wanderer, there's no saving the teammate. He's going to have to peel off and look for other options. And there's no easy way to go. You go from one fight, and now you've got 4 more teams in front of you.
There's just no angles. And this is kind of the issue with Miramar is that you fire some shots, and it's like gophers. They start popping up everywhere saying third-party time, and for Reciprocity is looking to try and get things going. This
could be excellent play now for Team Ready. If they're quick on this, I don't know how much information they have. They're about to get a complete free pickup. Higgy in trouble on the run. Can he do anything to return fire? Absolutely not. A beautiful death hands those out, and the rest of the team, they were 2-2 split. They're not close enough. They're on the other side of the ridge, and they go too far to confirm. Actually, tell a lie. Iros will find Higgy. But for now, Team Ready continue to rack up the points, but they have trouble from the other side. We're going to see another team within the top 3 joining in the fight. Trufeli there to kick it off into action. Merc goes down and confirming it as well. He's not getting back up.
Accelerate had a great flank, but they don't have a lot of cover to work with, so a beautiful death and Arrow are going to have the work cut out for them, as they do have Rustenmar down, but Trifley's made it all the way over and lands a nice nade. Wow, Accelerate looking really good here. Arrow, only the last man standing. He's actually got the rest of Q-Rage, who has come to help their down teammates arriving at his back. So Team Ready had a good start here, but this is not looking good for a finish.
No, Wanderer's bled out. Iro's looking done for here. So many eyes towards that position he's in. A beautiful death, probably trying to relay the communication.
He's trying to get the bike out.
There's trouble coming his way. Can he do anything? He's got the bike as an option. Rustamar dies. A beautiful death dies. Is the time right for Iroh, though, in the smoke still?
I'd be bold.
I mean,
jump on the motorcycle, see what
just
happens.
gun it somewhere. He's got literally a team steps behind him now. He's trying to make a smoke wall forward, and this could be the wrong choice. Krillion's gone down, though. That's Scoom. Phosphid as well being found by the Toxic players. There's going to be deaths everywhere there. Raffi finding it with the nade. We see Constantine on the move. It's not the man we thought, though. Raffi is the one racking up kills for Team Rec. They were desperately needing this too. They need a big performance here, but Andy has been found. It's Method down.
That's 14th place for
Iroh's
Andy
gone
and
as well.
And Iroh tried to make his run, but he wasn't going to make it accelerate. We'll finish him off. Team Ready now 13th place, and this is now an open field. It continues to center around TC in the center, and that is great for them as everyone on the edges is killing themselves. M19 is down as well. And this is actually looking okay for Reciprocity, who's held onto their side of this ridge for quite some time. And Raffi and Shiv have been racking up kills over and over with distance-based weapons. The SKS, all those DMRs, really playing a major factor for Reciprocity.
Premi is your last man standing for the Danish side, who did so well on day one. And let's see if he can do anything about it all. In the background charges there. Squeaky.
Really nice.
Rec are doing wonderfully.
Yeah.
I'm very, very impressed with how well they're playing this one. It looks like Team Sauna Boys have gone down as well. We're losing big names in this outside of the top 10. This is going to keep things exciting. Scoom confirms that Udense Esports is now done for in this, finishing in 10th place in the first game of Group B in day 2.
This is a brutal
Four
circle.
alive. Four alive for them is excellent.
Yeah, and this is a time now where they have a high ground position. You want to try and clear out as many snakes as possible. This northern side with Razor Edge, Red Diamonds, and the remnants of Besiktas is now about to be decided as they all have hard cover, but they're all outside the zone, save for the 2 members of Besiktas. Toxic trying to make their way in as 4. Reciprocity has a great high side advantage here, but they're going to be forced in as well, and this is all open field. This is going to be really brutal.
I'm so excited for this. Wanted just caught the cross. He knows they're close, but how close are they? Pin is right there. The trade comes in. 1 for 1. Trying to confirm the kill. Wanted baits it, but loses out. Senpai holds the line. It looks like the Red Diamonds are coming out tops here. As it looks like, are they completely wiped on the other side, or did someone stay alive? It looks like Maverick just went down. We're losing so many players, but that compound just got taken over by Red Diamonds. They locked that one through and through. Cup of Magic just about stayed alive. He's on the run, but Pin trades back in.
This is looking good now. If they can get one more down for if Tamil can finish them off, rather get Sid down and get Ultra up, they might be able to get a top 5 finish here. But for Tamil, he's got his work cut out for him. They've only got 1 kill. They're going to go for the res instead of the push. Razor Edge is taking a lot of damage. Red Diamonds is taking a lot of damage, and the circle is closing slowly. So for Team Chargers, they just have to kind of wait because they've almost guaranteed themselves a top 5 finish.
They certainly have. They are very well settled here. Somehow Toxic's still in this. I do not understand
how.
They
haven't done it. They're by themselves. There's no one on their side of the zone.
That makes sense. There it is. I was confused how they made it to this point with so much action. But we will be seeing if Tomil can make it out with Ultra here. They had so many teams coming their way. It looked like the Red Diamonds had made their way through, but Cup of Magic was
No reses for Red Diamonds. Yeah, I mean,
Sid's out on his own.
Yeah, Sid has decided not to go for reses, even though they had a little bit of time to do so. Cup of Magic is snaking his way in. So really, out of all of that, Besiktas having only 2 players is going to keep 2 players.
I don't see much happening against it. The remaining members or member of Moonwolf trying to ruin things here for Rec. Shiv's already got caught. He's going to try and push up on this. He's your last man standing. Scoom on the high ground does take the peak, but loses out on the fight. But you can see, oh what a turn!
Oh, man, that's actually not good for Reciprocity. They're outside the zone.
And Haxetti just got confirmed killed as well by 1. So, I mean, they have not done brilliantly out of that fight. That one man just cost them 2 players.
At least. And, I mean, the zone's closing, and they have a line of sight from Toxic players, and there goes Cup of Magic. So they are going to get a top 5 minimum Reciprocity, but they are not looking good on their side of the zone.
No, it's certainly not Ultra
This is one of those games that just almost gets decided by the zone itself, with Team Chargers maintaining their position now in the center.
And Toxic have so much little bits of cover to play with. You can see it here. Raffi's just been knocked and killed. We're down to just Scoom. We have 4 players still alive for this team over here as well. Team Chargers, I think some of this compound is in, but not much of it. A lot of the next circle is pretty much road. And then you're going to have TC on one side and Toxic on the other. Scoom has found one little ditch.
Yeah.
And that's all he's got. Let's have a look at Sid and see his situation.
He's kind of the same. They're all doing
pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, they're all kind of hiding. This is where the circle is going to kind of decide who is going to get what and who has line of sight to who. So for Besiktas, this is great. I mean, they didn't have a good start, and now they have a pile of loot. They have a decent spot in the zone. They have hard cover, at least for now. but they have a smoke run ahead of them.
Yeah, I don't know what they're going to run to, though. They've got Toxic on one side, and then
dip.
you've got the Chargers on the other, but crossing that is going to be incredibly hard.
Not going to be easy, but they have a little bit of a rock, a little bit of hard cover to get to. If they can actually push the ridge, if you can see on the left side of the zone, there's a little ridge that's holding Toxic players. If they can get there.
But look at the timing. The Scream's trying to make his run now. He hears the engagement
And
going on. Not happened for him. He tried to make a play out of it, and I understand the theory, but not going to get away with it. You've got to try and make it happen when you can. So we have Toxic still up. We have Team Charger still up. We have one of Red Diamond still up. Besiktas is still in this as well.
They're
so they are
metting in the smoke right now, I imagine.
just about alive. This could all very much unfold very quickly. Team Chargers has a very good position so far. Toxic has a lot of pressure, a lot of eyes towards them. I'm not sure how much cover they're going to have to play with.
This is the right play for Besiktas.
It certainly is.
They've made their way up now, and now they're out of smoke, however. So Tamil, yeah, they're not going to quite make it to the ridge. They were hoping probably for Team Chargers to give them a little bit more help, but looks like Team Chargers is actually going to help with those kills across the way, and they will trade kill steals. As Besiktas is eliminated, we are down to 3. Sid has done his duty, and he's now facing elimination. It's going to be Toxic and Team Chargers vying for the finish here in the first game of Miramar on the day.
He is very much done for, but as you said, he has done his job. You've pushed yourself to a top 3 position. You locked it in. Now we've actually got kind of a 4v4 here. This is a little bit, not weird, but I mean, you don't expect it at this point. Now we need to just see how this one unfolds. Do they get a knock? Do they get a way forward? Because it's kind of even at the moment.
Toxic players needs this win. I mean, they're dead last currently. So this, if they can get a win here with a decent amount of kills, they could realistically jump a lot of teams, and they are going to get the benefit of the zone. They just have to wait out Team Chargers rather, who now have to leave their hard cover.
I want to see what utility Team Chargers have. They need that Car 98 to do some work. Lie there needs to get a knock at least. You need a knock to be able to kind of spur yourself forward. That's what you're looking for. You need that one shot to the head. You're hoping the Toxic by now have taken enough fights and enough damage that they will be a little bit weak. They don't have the helmets and such and so forth. Again, this turns on to TC. Can you get enough utility to make a way forward? Can you get the knock? You have 30 seconds to start this one building. You can't just trade your way in here. Toxic do, as you said, have the circle. They can put one player there and allow everyone else to shoot.
They need to be a little bit conservative here. I don't think they want to avoid getting a knock. Oh my God, that Car 98 is waiting. If I'm Toxic, I just let the circle start to close, start throwing out my grenades, and try and keep TC away from my side. But look, they have nothing to work with. They could have 50 smokes, and they're going to have to be running into no cover. So if you're TC, this is not looking so hot. Toxic players, however, still needs to close it out. Ooh, and there it is. There's the knock.
Wells goes down. Here we go. This gets exciting.
Why are you pushing?
Suddenly, what are they doing?
Why are you pushing?
Why are they running forward? This opens up a huge avenue of opportunity. Look at them pushing off the back. Team Chargers knows this. And the blue's coming in. Oh, my Lord. Toxic, you could not have done this worse. Surely it's not going to happen. Flat goes down. We are seeing them fall apart at the seams potentially. And look at Garbage Man. He knows this is the chance to try and push forward, but they're running into no cover. They have nothing but the guns on their side to work with. And Toxic, it looks like they finally stepped up. A nade comes back, though, and it's not over just yet. We're down to 2 for Team Chargers, desperately holding on with what they can. Toxic has 2 as well, but they have the cover. They have surely everything they need here.
Yeah.
Lai gets found. We're down to 1 man standing. He gets tagged into the smoke. He goes.
They're rezzing for some reason, and that nade could be, I thought that was going to be a grenade. That would have been very deadly. Sammy's taking zone damage in the back. And I don't know how.
The kill! It's a 1v2. It's too far. It's too much.
Jesus.
My word, that was almost the biggest choke I have ever seen. But Toxic players somehow.
They like tripped and fell into that win almost at the end there. That was, I mean, they had the zone at their back, so I cannot blame them, but they didn't. I can't imagine they had any utility to spare because they should have thrown at least a couple of smokes to cover their press down that hill.
Wow.
But it really seemed there, like after that initial trade, that TC might get the upper hand. But that was a slap fight between 2 people wearing blindfolds, as far as I could tell.
The scary factor becomes to me, Team Chargers, I'm looking at them, if I'm not mistaken, they weren't within the kind of top 6 position at the start of the day, so that's another team getting a dinner, getting a lot of kills. Toxic, nowhere near it at the start of the day, so again, we're seeing teams create more room towards the top. Red Diamonds had a good performance, so that's great news for them, finishing in the top 3. Excellent work from Sid there, holding on as best he could for as long as he could, and he certainly did well.